All right, welcome to Trending Issues on Flow FM TV. My name is Ginika Olwaha. We'll look at one of the trending issues on the program this today, which is the Transition Council list released by Governor Alex Otti. That's the governor-elect. And this particular list, or rather, the council, will be inaugurated on Friday, 14th April 2023. We'll look at many people that made that particular list. Samson Eze is here. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program, Samson.
Thank you, Genika.
Okay, I'm sure you have.
You didn't make the list.
No, I did not. Neither did you. So two of us are just here talking about the list since we couldn't make the list. So I want us to actually look at the people that made that list. It's a whole lot of people. Recently, it was dropped that Aroma Ote, Karo Mogui, and so many other people, majorly technocrats. And so many people have been saying, what about the politicians? Later, I understand that they dropped another list made up of some politicians. Not most of them were not politicians, actually. I saw Darlington Wokocha, who is also senator-elect for Ade Central Senatorial Zone. Our colleague, a senior one at that, Ezichu Bani, also made that list.
Who is originally a PDP person?
Yes, I don't know. So it appears that this whole thing cut across party lines, not necessarily members of the Labour Party. And some of them are not even politicians per se. Samson.
Yeah, let's start from the first list. You have Aroma Ote.
Yes.
You have demand from KPMG and so many other huge stalwarts. I mean, you're talking about technocrats. In the real sense of it, it reminded me of Soludo's transition committee list. Yeah. But that was a long list. This one is quite brief
and concise.
Just 8 persons to start with, and it's a statement of intent. It's not commissioners' list. I've already heard opposition lawmakers, opposition politicians in the state saying that the governor-elect did not take note of the ethnic coloration, the tribal coloration of Abia State and all that. This is not a commissioner's list, but to me it's a statement of intent. It shows some level of seriousness.
Yeah.
It shows serious consideration for competence, and the work can start right now.
Okay.
Just like Kaze Uko stated when you interviewed him. He said other set of names would be added, and it didn't take long. Ferdinand dropped the long list of politicians. I think that is what Abians are looking forward to. Look at the kind of reactions that the list got from the social media.
Yeah,
people are commending the governor-elect for bringing out such concise lists. And is it possible to remove politicians completely? No way. Is it possible for you to ignore the tribal and regional or some other primordial interest? It is not possible. You have to carry everybody along. But the general consideration here should be who is competent to do that work. You're talking about Ezichu Obani. That's his senior colleague, a media guru. And you're talking about Professor Azubike Onyebuchi, right there in that list.
Medical practitioner.
The CMD of FMC here.
Exactly.
And that should tell you that the health sector is covered. You have Ume Kalu there. I saw Ume Kalu.
Yes, I saw Ume Kalu. I saw Ken Akia-Sam.
I saw Johnson Chukwu of the Cowrace.
Okay. I also saw
business analyst and someone who knows about
Udochukwu Ogbonna also made that list. You remember he was BIR chairman. So I think all of them are coming back. When that list dropped initially, you asked, are they coming to audit Abia? Or are they looking at other things? Going by the number of people and where they are coming from. Majorly, they are financial experts, economists. We didn't see much of the politicians, but now we've seen some of them, touch of politicians here and there in that list. But the issue is this. What are they really talking about? Are they going to concentrate more on the economy of the state and how to audit the revenue of the state and probably give a credible template for the incoming government?
I think it's about giving a credible template. They are not auditing the revenue of the state or auditing the books of Abia State, that is not the purpose. They've been given already a reference point. I mean, draw up a template for the incoming administration. They could even go as far as suggesting those who are going to head different agencies, those who are going to take different appointments. I think that can happen. But then they should equally initiate a smooth transition between the outgoing government and the incoming administration. There should be a meeting point.
Yeah.
The meeting point here is that we have advocated that even if it is for photo ops, even if it is just for photo pleasure, let the incoming governor and the outgoing governor meet and harmonize things. You should be able to tell him where he stopped, and then let there be a smooth transition. And you know what that can do to the generality of the supporters from both sides? Close ranks. The bigger interest here, the bigger picture is Abia, development of Abia State.
But why are we not seeing the outgoing government setting up their own team that should meet with this incoming government? I mean, the transition council, because it's supposed to be a kind of synergy. These people cannot work without looking at the books, looking at the handover notes, what has transpired in the past 8 years, and probably give them, a kind of platform to look at what has happened and how they are supposed to take off if eventually they get inaugurated.
This is a transition that is different.
From town hall?
It's a different transition. Remember, it's happening between another party and I mean, it's not like a same party transition.
Okay.
It's a different political party, and you go back to how the campaigns went down. Banters thrown, exchange of hot verbal exchanges and all that, and all the things that they may have said about each other. And it will definitely come to play again. But we're saying here that the bigger picture is Abia. For the outgoing government, all he needs to do is prepare his handover notes, make sure that the commissioners, all the heads of agencies, they all do a detailed handover note, because any untidy note can land the government into a big trouble if the incoming administration so choose to look into the books. So the job of Governor Keze Ikpeazu here is to tidy his handover notes, but we're saying that the two leaders should be disposed to exchange ideas from each other. Dr. Alex Otti should be disposed to hear from Dr. Keze Ikpeazu where he stopped or where he's going to stop, and then takeoff point, departure point for Alex, and then where the other man. There are so many uncompleted projects. There are so many projects. Just the other day, the governor announced a $50 million
because I was going
facility.
To maybe this financial expert will look at that.
Yes, which the governor, in announcing that when he had a chat with newsmen in Aba, through some kind of jokes, that the incoming governor delayed that facility, and now it's good a thing that he's going to benefit from it. $50 million.
Do you think something will still be left for him to benefit from in the $50 million loan facility?
I don't think it has even started rolling.
But the governor said specifically that it's meant for rural roads. He said it.
Not rural roads in Omo Obiakwa or rural roads in where the outgoing governor chooses. Remember, this will be at the instance of the incoming administration. It's a facility that is already secured for him by the outgoing administration. So however he chooses to deploy it, but he would pay. And the payment period is for 20 months.
Still on trending issues on Flow FM TV. We talked about the issue of the campaign council. You just said that this is a government different, and it takes me back to 2015 when Goodluck Jonathan of the PDP lost to President Buhari of the APC. They had a kind of synergy. Transition council were set up both from the PDP government, outgoing government, in 2015, and President Buhari's APC Transition Council in 2015. They met, and I also saw clips where Jonathan actually invited Buhari, and he was showing him around especially around the Aso Villa, the places. These are normal routine that we should be seeing, not minding the political affiliation of both the person that is going and the person that is coming. We should be seeing the handover, programs here and there. This is what we were able to do, before the May 29 inauguration day.
Yeah, I mean, that is an ideal situation, but it is not compulsory. It is at the disposition of the two personalities. Is the governor, the outgoing governor, is he disposed to welcoming Alex Otti to the state house, the government house? Is Alex Otti willing for that meeting? Even a dinner, it's not a bad idea. And my own interest here is that it will send a very good message of unity. The campaign was so hot. It came with hot exchange of banters, verbal abuse, people talking down on each other. Such a camaraderie would settle a lot of frayed nerves, Denica. And then if it happens, it will be fine. For Otti'S, yes, fine. The supporters, everybody will close rank and work for the interests of the state. And for one thing, since after the election, if you check the utterances of the outgoing governor, he's been very calm, peaceful, and more disposed. I think he's ready to welcome.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No, he's a very peaceful man.
I'm not speaking for him. He appears like someone who is ready for the transition process. His mind is made up. His party lost, and he's done his own part.
Does he have any option?
He's done his own part. I'm saying the other idea of him welcoming Alex, I think he's ready to do that. For Alex too, so far, there's not been any serious attack on each other in terms of the outgoing government, except when there was issue of who went to
courts to get an injunction and the rest of that.
The bank accounts of the government.
Okay.
But at this point, there should be that meeting point. It's very, very important. And for the committee members, they have a very big task. This is like starting afresh. And I don't want to advocate a process or a system where you throw away everything. Look at everything that is on board. If there are things you need to keep, please keep it. If there are officers, appointees that are still very relevant and productive and effective, useful to the system, do not upset the apple scout at this moment. Like if it's a board appointment or if that has about 5-year tenure and the person has just served like 2 years, look at the person's productivity. If you must change the wheel, make sure it's a balanced one that you want to make.
Okay, still talking about this council list that was just released by the governor-elect. Expectations. Let's look at the expectations of Abians. I understand that clannish and political sentiments have started filtering into these lists. Some say that when you look at, you remember one of the chieftains of the PDP who I actually interviewed on the platform, he said that in all the list, the members there, not even one person was from Okwangwa, Okwangwa axis. And some other people said that the political sentiment there, why are you now excluding people? You said you are going to run an all-inclusive government. Why are you now leaving out PDP members and some other people from other political parties? So you see that the expectation, the sentiments are beginning to creep into this particular list. But the issue is this: what should Abians expect going forward with the release of this list?
Yes, like I said, it's a statement of intent. For me, it shows that this administration would want to focus on competence. They would want to look at who is qualified to do what, not exactly where you're coming from, and not because you are a friend to somebody who is connected with Dr. Alex or the wife or whoever. I think that is the bold statement that is out there. And for the ethnic consideration, look, these things come with political power and you cannot rule it out. There should be balance. Yes, if you look at that reservation expressed by the PDP chieftain, I think Kozo Azubike, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not really out of place. But this is just a committee of 8 persons And so far, it's been expanded to more than 20. And I'm sure those interests have been covered. But in bigger appointment, there should be balance. Make sure that the different tripods under which Abia stands are deliberately, intentionally, and favorably covered in your appointment. Let there be a spread, touch every part of the state. In terms of development, there shouldn't be over concentration in one area unless there is a strategic importance to that particular project or program. Like the outgoing administration favored Aba for strategic reasons of SME development.
And this incoming government appears to be favoring Aba. He said the inauguration would take place in Aba and that he was going to set up Ministry of Aba. So everything appears to be tilting towards Aba.
I doubt whether that is the intention. Even at that, you know that the way the country is even going now, I think the government needs to give Aba due attention. And it's been said that Aba is the SME capital of the state, not just the state. Aba is the place of interest in terms of commerce in the entire country, or even in Africa. So it won't be out of place if the past administration paid so much attention to Aba, and then the incoming administration gives equally due attention to the commercial activities going on there, and they get revenue to even fund projects in other parts of the state. It's not a bad idea. It is not about where the committee is even inaugurated. He can actually choose to do it in his house in Ishalangwa North or in one hotel in Umuahia. I think I'm more interested in the personalities and the templates that they are going to churn out for the overall governance and development of the state. Don't forget that there could be burden of expectation on the incoming administration. It is a government that is riding on popular mandate.
Yes.
Popular mandate gotten from the ballots. And you know what happens with such. Expectation will be so high. Everybody is expecting Dr. Alex and his team to hit the ground running from the get-go.
All right. Well, I think it's time for us to actually leave the studio. We've exhausted all we have for you on trending issues for today on Flow FM TV. Sincere thanks to Samson.
Yes, so let's wait for the supplementary list. Maybe you could make the list.
I don't intend to make the supplementary list for Transition Council.
Make the main list.
Yes, the main list. That's the VC's list. That's what I want to make, or the president's list, or rather the governor's list in this case. Well, thank you so much, Samson Eze, for coming on the show. Well, this is what we'll be bringing to you from time to time, and it is called Trending Issues on Flow FM TV. My name is Ginika Oluwaha. I'll see you again.